What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another ladder story. Today we have a scan game spawning here in the bottom left of Dominator in purple, and he is playing against a Zerg who is BGM_Alan. So most commonly just known as Alan. JJZ recently did a 3-match series of Alan against Artosis, so a relatively well-known, pretty solid Zerg player, should give Scan a decent run for his money. And of course, Scan, one of my favorite Terran players, very innovative, always coming up with very cool, weird, and wonderful builds. And the fact that this is a Terran versus Zerg always gives me a glimmer of optimism that we're going to see some sort of cool build like a Valkyrie opening or something to that extent. I've got no idea what to expect today, but if you are looking forward to seeing what Scan has in store for us, then buckle in, because I think this is going to be a very enjoyable macro game. So at the time you're watching this, the ASL 21 should be in full swing. Qualifiers should probably be a thing of the past, and the initial rounds should be starting. So a lot of the practice games that the players are playing currently on the new maps and stuff are being featured across various places on YouTube. At time that I downloaded this replay, Scan was actually the #1 ranked player on the ladder. So really is in very sharp form, and I expect that he will be very good today. Looks like he is going to shape up for some sort of expansion opening, because he hasn't yet taken his gas, but we will see what he does. He doesn't play SK Terran all the time. Some of the recent players that I've been casting, likes of Toggles, obviously Artosis, which I do a lot of, almost play SK Terran exclusively. It's sometimes fun just to mix it up a bit and see what the Korean pros are doing. This looks like he's just going to do a 2 Marine expansion. But we will see. Obviously, he wants to first confirm the opening of the Zerg. So while we're in a bit of a lull, I just want to say thank you to the community at large. I have enjoyed a real nice swelling of support. I've mentioned a few times that I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and the uptick in subscribers has been really great. So if you do stop by the channel on a regular basis, or you just like what you see today, please do hit a like on the video, give me a bit of feedback, tell me what you liked and what I can work on. And most importantly, if you want to come back for more, please do hit that subscribe button. It kind of keeps you in my eye line. It tells the algorithm, hey, show Rabbit's videos to me one more time, and I will stop by again. And if you do hit that subscribe button, I'm one closer to my goal, and it is very much appreciated. I actually had a viewer the other day who sent a comment saying, hey, I'm subscriber number 675. And that felt pretty cool. He actually tracked what number subscriber he was. If you do subscribe at the end of this video, and tell me what number subscriber you are, I'd actually love to hear from you. Alrighty, so we're sending our customary 4 lings across the map just to harass our command center. Scan did indeed do the 2 Marine expand, and his opponent is going Lair, and he does have a SCV in the base. I think the difference between really good players and decent players is the length that they keep their scouting SCV alive. So we'll see how long Scan can keep this SCV alive for, just to sort of confirm the tech of the Zerg. That's ultimately what you want, right? You want to come in here and you want to see, okay, you are making a Spire. Cool. I don't need to prepare for anything other than the usual things. So we've got our 2 racks going. We are making our academy. We are doing all the normal things here. Sadly, this is going to be a very standard build from Scan. That doesn't mean it won't be a good game. His execution of SK Terran is also extraordinary, and it would be good to contrast somebody as good as him to see how well he plays this style of play compared to some of the other regulars that we are casting on the channel. So it looks like we are going to be making a bunker for depot. So taking a nice solid and patient approach to the start of the game. Don't think these lings are going to get all that much done. And so the next thing we're probably preparing for is a little bit of Mutalisk harassment. So our engineering bay should be arriving imminently. There it is. And we still have our 2 racks. We're getting our first couple of medics out. So everything very solid and crisp from Scan's perspective. Alan is doing the macro hatch in base. We're seeing a lot of on-location quick thirds from Zergs. It is risky. If the Terrans scout it, it is a nightmare to defend the 2 bases. Soma does it incredibly well. You know, microing his mutas, spreading his lings around, making static defense where he needs to, having really good scouting information. These are all very critical parts to make that aggressive early 3 base style work for you as a Zerg. But if you don't quite have the confidence to do that, or you just have a little bit of a skill deficit between you and your opponent, I think this approach is perfectly fine, just kind of going with what we would call a 2.5 hatchery. So our first few mutalisks are about to hit the field. Let's see what we can get done in terms of early game harassment. So turret here to protect the production, turret here to protect the mineral line, another turret here, probably a third on the way. I like this turret placement very much. I like these also here in the natural. We're only making 2 turrets in the natural, but we do have this bunker. So let's see where our Zerg tries to press. Does pick off a gas SCV. Scan seems to have the confidence to try and move out onto the map. Not keeping his units back to... it does lose a muta there for free. That's a bit sloppy. So not keeping his units back to defending against the mutas. I don't think he's offended by a stack of 4 mutas. Nobody really would be offended or threatened. One in the same. It's got fire bats in the bunker. That's cool. Fire bats are making a comeback, guys. Give me a comment if you're a fan of fire bats. I freaking love fire bats. They're great. So with the map control that the mutas affords our Zerg, he is making a third. Mainly seems to just be macroing up here, though. Doesn't seem to want to try and achieve too much. Obviously, the key thing is for him to be able to hold any counter pushes. Now, a nice healthy stack of mutas coming forward here. I don't think we want to leave our units out here for a scan. We're very, very exposed, so we keep a nice wide angle view here. These units are going to eat their doom if they're not careful. Just waiting for him to dive. So full stack here will do well against these turrets. Does decide to dive in here. Decent macro. It's got a full stack of 11 plus the Overlord in the control group. Kind of keeping Scan camped at home, which is good. What you want. So all you're really doing here, Zerg, is just buying yourself time to macro up, to tech up. He doesn't seem to be going... So he is going Lurker. It's not rushing a Hive like we see so many Zergs do. Looks like he wants to try and pick up a supply depot here. Scan's going to have to arrange a repair on this quickly. Does pick it off. Nicely done. Very, very decent start from Alan here. I think he's done an incredible job in keeping Scan pinned back. He's got his Hydra Den, he's got his Lurk aspect, he's getting his Queen's Nest, he's going to progress into Hive Tech. So this is definitely going to test Scan to make sure he can play SK Terran against... I'm sorry, I just got excited because he's made Valkyries. He snuck the Valkyries in so beautifully. And now suddenly, just with a single Valkyrie and the micro, I mean the APM that this man can disperse here is just unreal. Picks off a couple of Straylings that were in the middle of the map. Got 2 Valkyries now. Hitting the volleys. And now has the confidence to move out onto the map with these Valkyries. And I said it was really going nicely for Alan, and it still is. He's getting Hive. And he's going to have some Lurkers to protect his outer bases. Does engage here and loses both his Valkyries, does Scan. So pretty good trade for Alan there. Tanks. Marines. Medics. Tanks. And Valkyries. It's a very funky composition. It's a lot of lurkers too. Holy cow. Oh, picks off a couple of free mutas there on the retreat. That was a little sloppy. So when will Scan take a third is the question. I think he wants to try and get a bit of map presence here. Put some pressure on Alan in the middle of the map and then expand behind that. I love this comp, this Valkyrie tank bio composition. It is very, very cool. Uses the tanks to try and knock down the lurkers. Lurkers look like they want to flank here though. Okay, so he's kind of laid lurkers on the retreat path. I don't know if Scan's aware of this. We'll have to see which way he moves. So he's kind of sandwiched here. If we have a look, he's kind of sandwiched in between 2 points of the Zerg here. This could be a problem for him. So using scanners and siege tanks to try and pick off these lurkers. So it does reposition them. Kind of cornered now though. Sending our Overlord around here, or excuse me, our Valkyrie around here to kill some Overlords. So to kind of play them like Corsairs. Valks are the new Corsairs, guys. Did you know? Because we don't have any Scourge on the map. Very, very effective tactic from Scan. I did miss the first Overlord kill, but I caught the second one. I'm sure I'll be looking for another Overlord soon. Expanding behind this as predicted. And now trying to apply pressure to the farthest point on the map for the Zerg. Kind of a nice spread of purple everywhere. Nidus in place though to reinforce. So the farthest point is far less of an issue now for the Zerg. Alan looking to expand here as well. And does take another hatchery. It seems to be wanting to siege up right here on the front door of our Zerg. A couple of Scourge in play. Probably mainly to deal with the Valkyries. The File is now also in the game. Going to lose that Overlord for free because of a bad rally. Big engagement here with the Lurkers. Going to reposition a few more Underdark Swarm. Does throw down some Irradiates, but gets right on top of this bio. Does retreat pretty well though. Doesn't lose much. So can get sight. Because of the vessel, can get sight into the main, shooting from this high ground position. Really didn't get much done there with the Lurkers. Lost two of them pretty quickly. Does burrow a couple more under the Dark Swarm, so does need to retreat again. Scan now really starting to apply some pressure here on Alan. And as good as Zerg is, and as well as he can play with Hive Tech, I think good Terran players can make decent Zerg players look incredibly ordinary. Roar, 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 roar. It's a pretty cool sound the Defilers make, isn't it? Them damn wiggly worms. Good plague on all the units here. Didn't miss a single one by the looks of things, except this one medic. Vultures as well. Really does mix up his composition, doesn't he? And I was adding dropships as well. I think that's one of the things. The best way to describe Scan and the way he plays this match is dynamic. He's just incredibly dynamic. It's really, really good. Couple of free picks for some mutas randomly. Question now is, where does he go next? He's got some vultures here, a couple of units here, making another base, a fourth base here, saturating up here and putting a little bit of safety protection. He's got so much map control though, I don't feel like he really needs to protect that base too much. But of course one mustn't be complacent. So it does do the drop. Doesn't actually get a very good result there. Some Lings were kind of waiting for it, and there's some Vultures here as well. So he's really not going to get much done. Oh, that was a bit sad. Anyway. We tracked it. We had a go. No good. We'll try again, I'm sure. It's got such a big lead that a drop like that isn't going to make too much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, I don't think. Lots of macro power from Scan. Establishing this base as well. Really in a very strong position. This is one of many reasons why he's the #1 ranked player on the ladder. He's just extremely, extremely good, particularly at this match. Like, his Terran vs Zerg is just very, very strong. Nice irradiates on those lurkers. Another dropship on the way. Let's see if we can get something done with this. Although he kind of shows it to the Zerg. So we'll keep an eye on him, see where he goes with this dropship. Picking off more lurkers under Dark Swarm. Retreats again with the dropship this time. But units kind of waiting for the dropship here on patrol. It's really expecting this. Hi. More vultures getting dropped. Mines late this time. Using the sighting from the mines to fire with a few siege tanks. But the lurkers are getting the job done. Decent bit of micro there. I think he's going to pick up a couple of drones here. Does tidy this up. Meanwhile, a little bit of Dark Swarm. Wants to try and fire over the hill, but nothing is in range as of yet, or as of right now. So we're getting a nice combination of Goliaths, tanks. This is the strangest combination of mech, Valkyries, Marine Bio. It's a full repertoire of units, man. There's some of the most interesting compositions. So now, in theory, this lurker should be unshootable. And he's getting a decent amount of damage on these tanks. Meanwhile, we're moving in on the natural. And we're maxed out here as Scan, so we've got plenty of units to burn, so to speak. Obviously, that doesn't mean we don't want to have a good trade. So I think he needs to reposition his tanks here. His tanks are a little bit disconnected from the rest of the army. Hasn't unsieged, though. His attention might be elsewhere, although he does throw down that radiate on that lurker. Nothing really happening here. Kind of just keeping the Zerg contained for the time being. This is really a very powerful performance from Scan. The macro, the unit comps. Oh, we've got some queens. That's fun. Wow, hello. Really had to reach deep into his bag of tricks for that one. And now suddenly the supplies are quite close. That's always the challenge with Zerg versus Terran. It looks like Terran is just absolutely dominant, and Zerg just has to hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, and suddenly, boom! The tide turns. These tanks into a dangerous position here, though. Some ultras as well. Wow, this really has been... Every single unit from both sides has been used in this match. Unreal. Unfreaking real. And now suddenly Scan feeling the pressure a little bit here. Alan is really playing one hell of a game. More ultras on the way, more cracklings behind this. I think his problem might be... No, it's not money. But if you look, there's so much purple though, right? Like on a macro premise, another failed drop, unfortunately, from Scan. Drops has definitely not gone his way today, that's for sure. So 159 plays 149. What a game. What an absolutely crazy game. I'm actually sitting here blown away. This is unreal. What a match. So picking off some overlords here. Once again, supply blocked into yesterday. Another big engagement here. Predominantly Lings. A lot of the ultras have kind of been thinned out. More Dark Swarm though to support the fight. But this did not go well for Alan. Suddenly there's a 40 plus gap in supplies. He's making some more overlords because he's got himself supply blocked. He's making some more Lings. Another Defiler. Expanding again. Oh, decent mind drag there. But I think Alan is just going to run out of steam because Scan has got so many bases, but he absolutely pushed Scan to the limit here. What a brilliant, brilliant performance. Taking yet another base down here. There's just too much purple. That's, I mean, as silly as it sounds in terms of a summary, that's the reality here. Just too much damn purple. Lurkers, none of those lurkers even successfully borrowed. Look how quickly that ultra died. Damn, man. Damn. You know who's the biggest hero in this match? This Overlord. He's just been chilling here all game. He's happy. Hasn't been able to transfer these workers or these, so he may have a few mining bases. A couple more queens, always helpful to do a bit of spawn broodlings. Hi queens. Really did test him at his limits. Ultralist does hatch, killing a few drones now. Sending in some Lings from the top side. This dreaded mind drag sound predominantly worked in Scan's favor though. No real friendly fire dramas. I think we're going to see the death blow here on the natural. His use of vultures has been really good, particularly against the Lings. I think it's a good counter against Hive Tech. When you got cracklings, the vultures fight pretty well. He's just kept such good map control. He's really, really limited the movement of the Zerg player. The sounds of queens dying. It's such an agonizing noise, isn't it? Anyway, that's it. GG. Very, very nice mind drag there at the end as well. Guys, a very convincing game from Scan. He's not the #1 ranked player on the ladder for nothing. Obviously, the ladder changes daily. So if I checked to this morning, you know, he probably isn't #1 right now. But he is really, really playing unbelievably well, practicing very, very hard. But Alan gave him one hell of a good game. And this was really, for the most part, just a solid macro win. I love the compositions that Scan plays with. If you enjoyed the game, please do give me a like. Any feedback on the video, much appreciated. As mentioned earlier, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And until next time, you must please take it easy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.